everybody, I'm Michelle with Stampin' Butterfly. Thanks for joining me. Tonight I wanted to talk about our paper pumpkin from May 2024. So one of our kits, these are all-inclusive kits. This one is the best there is. Yep, okay. And it's a more masculine card set, which is always really nice because we seem to have a lot of flowers and we struggle for masculine cards sometimes. So this is kind of a great kit. Not sure if it's still in the store or not. Sometimes you can buy the extra kits or add-on pieces to it. But tonight I wanted to put together one of the cards, share some tips and tricks on there, and then also share some alternatives at the end that I've put together. So let's take a look at the kit. All right, so each kit is all-inclusive, so it comes with everything pre-designed. It's in your little box. They have a label on here so you can stack and organize them, and you can just grab and go over the summer, so that's really nice as well. So inside your kit, you'll see that, well, these are my finished cards, so we'll just move these to the side. You always get some dimensionals. You've got some glue dots for this kit to help assemble. There's an insert, and then there's also your stamp, so you can kind of see what those look like. Then you've got, these are some extra pieces. I'm going to move this. Those don't come with the kit, but we're going to make some alternatives. So you've got all your envelopes in here, and I've gone ahead and stamped these, so we'll talk about those as well. And then you have your card bases and all the little die cut pieces and your layers. So it's a great way to craft on the go, craft with the kids, all kinds of stuff. And then you also have your stamp set left over that you can use, and it comes with an ink spot, where are we? Misty Moonlight. So Misty Moonlight is the color for this month. All right, so let's take a look at the finished cards, and then we will, let's see, does this one? This is more masculine, so there's no gems or ribbon in this one. Sometimes there's gems and ribbon. So let's take a look at the finished cards. You're the best there is. And you know, you've got some nice sprigs there, wood green, some trees, and it's, you know, the nice wood grain on both sides, and then it's white inside for you to write on. With love and admiration. Yeah, admiration to the most amazing person. Ooh, late. Okay, and then you get inside some spriggy things, and then a happy Father's Day. This kit came out the month before Father's Day, so sometimes when we put out our kits, they end up trying to structure them similar for the holidays, the upcoming holidays. So this one, there's other sentiments you can use, and then you could also substitute. So if you're putting it together now, or you can save it for next year's Father's Day too. So let's decide which one we want to put together. Maybe we'll do this one. So we can put this one together, or we can make an alternative. I have a couple of those to share with you. Oh, and then also, you can stamp your envelopes. So here they showed, you know, some stamped envelopes, and that's one of the trees that are in here that kind of match the stamped card. So I did the Misty Moonlight, and then I brought in the Early Espresso because I really like that chocolatey color to match. So those are some finished cards, and you could also put the trees on the flap too. And then just keep in mind you can cut these apart, which some of my alternatives I did cut an envelope apart, and I'll show you how I used all those pieces. All right, so each card has its step-by-step instructions, card 1, 2, and 3. And then on the back, it always has a good starting point if you want to see how to take things apart. So you pop out your pieces for each, oh, look, it's upside down. Each piece, so, you know, card number 1, these are the pieces you need, card number 2, and you can put them in 3 different piles, and then you can craft all in one swath if you wanted. And then on the very back side, they show you some quarterly dies that we've started coming out with this year, so that way they coordinate with your kit. And it's a great way at a really affordable price point to get some dies that coordinate, and they fit through the mini machine, which is really nice too. So I think I have it floating around here, so we may use the mini machine to die cut some stuff, depending on what we end up assembling. All right, so let's take a look. Coordinating colors in this kit are Basic Beige, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Misty Moonlight, Pool Party, and Wild Wheat. So those are the colors that we'll be using on these. Has all your labels pre-cut for you too, and some little banner guys. So what did we say? We wanted to do this guy maybe? All right, so put that there. We're going to go ahead and pull out the pieces we need. So we need the wood grain, Woo. And I need the stamp sets, some blue sprigs. We could always change it up too. Do we want to do the teal? Nah, I think I like the blue with it. We won't change that. And then there's also a stamp set that is in the new annual catalog that really is like one of my favorite go-to for just general sentiments. And it works really well with this kit. So I'll show you that in a minute as well. So let's see. You're the best there is the stamp. And then does it show squiggle? I think it does. Yeah. All right. So we also need this little dotted thingy over here. And that one's kind of small, so you might miss it. And it's not the end of the world if you do. Let's see. All right, so we've got those two laid out. We've got our base. Oh, we need the little tree layer. Where are they? Here they are. Okay. Oh, and the little... See, I already used one with a different sentiment, so we'll use that side for now, but then I think we're going to use the birthday one. Okay, so those are the pieces we need. So now once you've got all your pieces gathered, you go to the inside of the instructions, and it shows you step by step-ish how to do it. So here we'll put the sentiment on the block, which we did. There's that squiggly dot thing. We're going to stamp the sentiment on the banner, and then the dots kind of decorate the leaves to give it some texture. Let's see, do I have a scratch paper? It's going to go off the edge. Let's see, I do. All right, so we'll use this guy. And set that out. We've got our instructions. Let's see if you're all in screen. So we can put it over here. All right, bone folder. We're getting there. So we're going to fold our card base in half. Now, one way to get more mileage out of your kits is to cut your pieces apart, and you can double your cards that you make. So if we wanted, we can cut this in half and then put it on a piece of Misty Moonlight, a white card base, probably even beige might work too, the basic beige. But we're going to keep this one just pretty similar to how they designed it. So we're going to go ahead. I usually use my big ink pads rather than the little ones. So we're going to use the big Misty Moonlight, and we're just going to ink it up a couple times. Ooh, that one needs a re-inker on there. Goodness. All right, a couple more times, and then you're just going to stamp down and then up. And then I just clean it on my chamois over there. And then we need some little dots on here. So it gives it some texture. I don't know if you can tell. It's just plain leaves right there. And then on the card, I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's little dots on there. So that looks kind of cool. So we're just going to ink this up and randomly stamp it on the leaves. So I don't know if you guys can see that. And you can do any direction. There's no right or wrong. And I'm going to put a lot, a little, and then that circle spot's going to kind of get hidden, if you can tell or not. All right, we're going to clean that off. Now I've already stamped the, the envelopes, but you could also do that as well. Now the other side of this tag, which I had already stamped earlier, I was testing, says birthday wishes, and I think we'll stick with the different sentiment that what came with here, because I'm always needing birthday cards, especially for guys. Let me see, where is that stamp set? So this is the stamp set, Simply Said, and it's in the front of the catalog in one of like the starter areas, so like when you're using ephemera packs and whatnot. But it's got all your sentiments you could really need. It's got two different fonts in there. So this is the birthday wishes, and the happy birthday fits pretty good in there. Let's celebrate. So you can kind of add a lot of these to your kit if you wanted to swap out your sentiments. And I'll show you in the catalog where it is. So put a little tab in there. So page 19. See, put it in the screen. It's where the stamp set is. And this also works really well with our ephemera packs and our card bases. So you can see some examples of where they're used in some of these cards as well. So just some more ideas on how to get more mileage out of your stuff. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble. That's really all we had to do. So we stamped. Now we're going to put some glue dots. Again, they gave us some glue dots. I'll probably just use liquid glue because it's quick and easy. It's my favorite adhesive. And then we use some dimensionals on here on the back of the label. And then we're also going to dimensional up this piece right here. So the wooden tree background. And then you stamp some blue trees on your envelope. And then we've got a card. So let's grab an envelope. We can do that while we're here. And then we're going to need to get the trees on a block. Got to find the stamp set. All right, here we go. So I may as well do this too while we're here. Put those guys there. All right, we're all ready to go. Okay, we'll do one more stamp since we've got the ink already out. Where are we? And we'll stamp our trees. Now let's see if they fit on the back too. We can test it. So you could do the trees, they just barely fit on the back envelope flap. So if you wanted to do them on there too, you could. But we'll just do it on the front. Again, my ink pad is a little not so juicy. Normally it's the other way around, they're too juicy. So we're gonna just keep inking until we get enough on there. And then the way you can tell is if you flip your ink, you can see the ink over here now. So you can see it layered up. And then we're just going to stamp them on there. All right. Perfect. Clean it off on our chamois. And then we are done stamping. So go ahead and assemble our project. So we're going to put our dimensionals on here. We're going to put some dimensionals on the label. And I like to have them in every corner. And they also show them on the sides here, which is pretty good. And then if you want one in the middle so it's not as smushed, I kind of like one over there too. All right, so we're going to pop these up. Now I've seen different ways. I've seen some people making alternatives with this card where they cut it on the squiggle and then they layered like another color underneath, which looks kind of cool. So there's always lots of different ideas out there. And then this is kind of centered in the card. Make sure it goes open. All right. Whoa, wait, that corner went down too low. Come back. Or maybe it's just the wood grain. All right. So we got our envelope. We're going to put a little sticky glue over here. So I'm just going to glue it down whichever direction we want to. Where's our label? Kind of test it. Make sure it hangs out nice the way you want it. And then, where did I hide my dimensionals? Ah, here they are. We're going to go ahead and pop up the birthday wishes. So I'm going to put 3 of those. Okay, good. You can see. I'm not used to the new little box in the corner, so I got to try to work over here a little bit more. All right. There you go. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I like that. All right, so there you go. We've got the 2 different sentiments. I think they both look great. We pretty much followed the instructions on that. You've got your coordinating envelope. And then I thought, hey, let's make an alternative. So I cut a piece of early espresso. I kind of played with this idea. I haven't made it, so we're kind of doing it together. So we need that, this, and then the beige card base. Let's see. That's where it usually goes. I had 2 different ideas, so we can try to decide how we want to do that. Or maybe some of this wild wheat. It's not my favorite color, but we'll see. Oh, we need a circle and a label. All right, so this one uses that label. And let's see. The circle trees. They already come stamped for you, so how great is that? All right. right. There we go. Oh, I did want to mention too, so the coordinating dies, Thanks and Beyond is the name of them. And their item number is 164397. So they have, I always keep my little extras in here. They have sentiments and then these labels and stuff that coordinate with the last 3 months. So this is the May kit, right? So it matched for April, May, and June. So these coordinate here. And if you look, this die right here is what is used over here on this label. So if you like the label in the kit, you can make a bunch more with this one. So that's kind of cool. And then the thanks I used on some of my alternative cards. I'll show you that in a little bit. All right, so here's what I was thinking, and then we can decide if we like it or not. So this is I think it's 3 3/4 by 5 piece, right? So it's kind of centered there. It has a little bit bigger border. I was thinking if I did the 1/8 of an inch bigger border on the paper, we could kind of put it in there, and I thought that really gave it a nice pop. Then we could also die cut a thank you. So I like to use my inside cardstock sometimes, so maybe we'll do that. I think my mini machine's over here. So let's try this. See if there's enough room. We're gonna steal pieces of this cardstock here. We're gonna die cut it. So let's see. All right, so what we're gonna do is die cut a couple things out of the cardstock. It gets a little bit more use out of there and it makes it a little less thicker for the postman. All right, so we are using, because we're die cutting, we're using plates 1 and 2. Oh, you know what? I don't think it's gonna work in my mini. Eek, no it doesn't. It was a good idea. That's okay, we'll just use my scraps I have over here. Let's see, are those all the scraps I brought? Yeah, okay. The other option I had, by the way, is I was thinking we could kind of do like just a quarter, like a little bit of a border and then cut the paper too. But I think we'll stick with this other one. Oops. All right, so we'll just go with the thanks because I don't think that's going to fit on my piece of paper. All right, let's see. Didn't make my sandwich super straight. Let me do this a little bit better. Kind of being slack. Okay, so got the little sandwich going on. Then you want to push it into your machine to get it started. And then wheel it through. All right, sit him on the floor. Pop out our little sentiment. Okay, and then there we go. It's in early espresso. Kind of hard to see there. That's a little bit better. Okay, well, what we could have done if I had the bigger machine handy is we could have cut these out of the inside and then still had the border to go around. And it's another way to get more use out of your cardstock. So we'll just skip that. It was a good idea though. Okay, so now we're just gonna layer our cardstock together. Now if we look at the original card, that layer was glued flat and then this was popped and these were popped. So we can decide which way we want to go. Let's go over here and try to layer it on the 1/8 is kind of a little snug sometimes, trying to get that on there. All right, I like that. And then we're going to glue that flat. I still like that too. Let's crease that a little bit more. All right. So we're going to layer that on. Now we have to decide. Do we want to use this thanks that I die cut? Do we want to add some floral to it? Because here's our original card. And then here's this one. Let's see how these kind of look. Do I like this one? Kind of gets lost a little bit. That's kind of cool. See, this gets even lost on there a little. Well, it's not too bad. Or we just stick with the regular banner that we had. And we can change up the sentiment from Happy Father's Day to... See, what's nice about the clear stamps is you can kind of hover over and say, okay, happy birthday fits on there. Let's celebrate fits on there. Thank you. Hello. So we could use any of those. Let's do an, I don't know, do we want the thing? Kind of like the things. Maybe we'll stick with that after all. And then do these layer. Almost. That's pretty darn close, huh? That looks kind of cool. So we could do something like that too. So many options. All right, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it up so we can see it a little better. So we're going to put this, like I said, we're just changing the whole kit and caboodle over here. Let's see, do we want it to be at an angle like that? That's kind of cool. All right. And then let's see, I've got all kinds of scraps and things going on. I have this I made earlier. I got a knot, so I have some extra scraps and things. Or we can just pop that up. All right, so let's put some dimensionals on this. I'm happy with that part, so we'll go ahead and get this guy glued down. Kind of crazy. Yeah, I put those on a little weird, but they'll work. Pull out the backings. Stick them over on the side. And then when I'm layering it out, I got to make sure it doesn't go over the edge of the card too much, because then it won't fit in your envelope. I do kind of like it on here, even though it doesn't fit all the way. Oh, where's that blue little piece that sticks out? Where's that other little label piece? Now I got to rummage through the kit. Oh, and you should definitely save all these pieces, because look at those nice circles. You can use those as a card front, or you can use them with your blending brush and use it as a stencil too. So, you know we never throw anything out as paper crafters. All right. Where did you go, little banner guy? Goodness gracious. I have to pull it all out. Okay, there's the white banners. Ah, there it is. It's hidden over here. I didn't realize it was on here. Okay. Let's see how that looks. So it went below, right? So do we want to put it in the center with the thanks on there? Or does it fit on the thanks? That's kind of cool too. Right? That looks good too. So many decisions. Can't decide. All right, well, let's stamp it. I'm still undecided. Let's do the, we want to do the happy birthday. Like I said, I need birthday cards for guys all the time. So we'll go with those. Do we have any blocks left over here? You're too short. Will you fit? Ooh, I think he just fits. Okay, you can fit the longer blocks on the diagonal right there. And do we want to do the brown ink or the blue? The blue and see what we think. Yeah, I think the blue will be good. Really gonna have to re-ink that guy. Alrighty. There we go. Nice. Alright. So, I know I didn't use any of the stamps that are in this set for my cards, but you can. Let's see, we want to put the little banner at the bottom, so we'll just add a little bit of glue. This is where you can do those glue dots they gave us. And then we're just going to add it to the bottom. And then we'll pop this up too. And then we'll overlap it on there a little bit. All right. Still think that chocolate espresso looked pretty good, but I think it needed like a white banner underneath it, and I didn't have any white hanging around, so now we can decide. Where do we want the birthday banner? Kind of like it. Do we like it hanging out over there a little bit? Or do we want it to be further in, covering part of that tree? I think I like it that way better. But it's a little crooked. Hang on, don't stick yet. Almost. It's all those angles that make it tough. All right, so here's card number 1. Card number 2. See the little bit of pop that we gave it with that banner, that little border, and then the little twiggy things there. So that's kind of cool. All right, so let's see. Got all these random pieces and things. Let's go ahead and show you some of the alternatives that I made. Okay, so where's the originals? Just so we can kind of compare what we did. All right, so these are the cards, and this is the envelope, okay? So, and again, I'm over here, so I gotta move my stuff over. All right, there we go. Perfect. Much better. So what I did for this card right here is I trimmed it. Okay, so I cut it in half, and I took this panel, and then I used this die that I just showed you in the add-on, and I cut a hole out of that panel, and then I mounted it on a new basic beige, is one of our new colors, and I stamped with early espresso. There's that little dotted thing that we did for the leaves, so I added it as like a little decorative thing. Can add some gems on there too, and then I stamped the inside with those trees. Pop this up. This is up on a dimensional. Then I went ahead and see that empty piece that's missing. I used that on here as a background, and this is a piece of the envelope, so I cut one of the envelopes up and just made a border, stamped the trees across it, tied some basic beige ribbon on there, and then stamped the inside with a basic beige panel. So I guess I got a lot of birthday cards. Oh good, here we go. I gotta thank you now. So this one, I had an extra strip left over from there, and I put it on here, and I used this new, I don't know if you guys can tell, there's like this new embossing folder. It's narrow, so it fits through the mini machine, which is super cool. And so I embossed the basic beige again, so we're kind of have that theme going on. Didn't do anything fancy in there. Oh, here you can kind of see the seam, like where I embossed, and then I put that strip on there. So the width of the embossing folder is like that big. And then what I did is I took that thanks die that's in this kit, the add-on dies, and I die cut it out of that same paper, but I put the foam adhesive sheets on there. So I don't know if you can tell. See how it's nice and thick? So it makes it solid and like 3-dimensional versus just a couple of the dimensional dots. And then this one, I didn't really finish it up yet. I need an inside panel, obviously. But for this one, I went ahead and we have this new winterly bundle that we were able to pre-order as demonstrators for our Creativity Now event that we had last weekend. And so I used that on the other piece of the envelope. And then this I actually sponge daubered in some green and brown. And this wooden element is from the month before, or the last 2 months. One of them was like a meadow card kit, and it's that one. All right, so I think that is all my alternatives. You can kind of see, plus the originals and some of the alternatives we made. You'll have to let me know which ones you liked, and I hope you had fun creating with me tonight and learned a few tips and tricks and different things you can do with your kit. So never worry if you get a kit and you don't love it, because there's always tons of fun ideas, and you can shop it and make it bigger and get so many more cards even out of your kit once you steal from your envelopes and your cards and the bases. And I think if I look in my box, I have a bunch more pieces that I cut up earlier. Like you can see I cut some of the banners out of here, out of the beige. I've got some extra Misty Moonlight I thought I might use for layering. And then I do have this other things that I did on that foam dimensional tape. And I didn't find a home for it, so I'll have to make another card and put it on there. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. And then also, if you wanted to order Paper Pumpkin, you can check on my online store, and you may be able to get this kit. I'm not sure if it's still available, but if not, you could always subscribe for the following month, and you'll be able to see the upcoming kits and have fun with those. So thanks so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.